Okay. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is really good. So, let's discuss this game. Manchester United against Crystal Palace. A big relief, huh? It was a really big relief. I cannot lie to you. It was a big relief. When Crystal Palace. All right, sorry about that. When Crystal Palace scored, ah, I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what to make of it, but it was really crazy. But good win for Manchester United to come back from for Manchester United to come back from that setback and win. Yeah, I had the numbers are not pretty. When I say numbers now, I'm talking about the XG and all that. The underlying stats are not, based on that. We're not supposed to win. But then again, we don't want to have all the good underlying stats and not win games. We need to win games. We need to really win games. I think that's the most important thing. We need to win games, and not just win games, but win well. I understand. But I think the biggest problem now is that we're not winning games. We're not winning games. I think after we scored the second goal, yeah, we scored two goals from set pieces. But after we scored the second goal, well executed free kick. I think we looked different. We looked calmer. We looked at peace. There was a form of peace in the team. So I think that's what we need to do. It doesn't matter how the goals come at this moment. We just need goals. We need goals because we are conceding a lot. We are conceding a lot, and the only way to to find happiness is by scoring goals. So however we get the goals, let's just get goals. Let's just get goals. I think that's pretty key. That is pretty key. So those two goals from set pieces were really good. Have to praise them for the execution. But the first goal by how did Zexi score that goal? How did Zexi scored that goal? I'm still a little bit confused as to how Zexi scored that goal. How did he do that? I don't know. How did he do that? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how he did it, but I was happy that the goal went in because during the game people were saying a lot of things about Zexi, and for someone who hasn't played a lot this season, people do not believe that confidence is a thing. People do not believe that rustiness is a thing. You know, they just want to slam players, and that's where I have a problem. You want to slam players, but you don't think people should slam the coach. You just want to, insult players. You just want to abuse players. You don't care what you say about the players, but you have a problem with people who are also not okay with the coach. So you want to be the only person who is not okay with the players. You want to be the only person who should slam players because you're not okay with them. You want to be the person who should insult players because you feel they are not performing to what you want. But then when people who are not okay with what is happening with the team and are holding the coach accountable, you begin to do what? You begin to foam in the mouth. Foam will come out from your mouth because you feel you hold the only you should be angry. It is when when you're fed up with anything that people should know that there's a problem. If you're not fed up with the coach, there won't be a problem. If you're not fed up with the players, there won't be a problem. So it is when you decide that, okay, now me as an Odogu, I am angry. This person is not performing. That person is not performing. And then you that is when you feel everybody should be should be worried. You know, everybody should be worried when you are worried. Nobody has the right to be worried when you are fine with what is happening. It is actually very very crazy, and I don't think it works that way. So now take Patrick Dogu for example. People want to abuse Patrick Dogu. People want to beat him up for not being a wing back, but that guy was never a wing back. Patrick Dogu is a left back. You brought him to your club. You signed him as a right back, like you knew he was a right back, a left back. You signed him, and then you're angry that he has not been able to transition smoothly to a wing back. And you call him out every single time. You call him out every single time. And this is someone within 4 months you've signed him. You are angry that he's not a wing back. And then you have a coach who has 13 wins in 12 months. 13 wins in 12 months. You're not angry with that coach. You're not angry with the coach. You're angry with people who are angry that the coach is not performing. Simply because you yourself you feel only you deserves to be angry. It's an interesting situation. It's an interesting situation. So I feel this. Football is a visual sport, right? It is what people say that they will talk about. It is what people say that they will talk about. It is what people say that they will talk about. If people don't see something impressive, they will talk. It doesn't matter who is affected, be it player, be it coach. The most important thing is that you're watching, and what you're watching is not hitting. There's a way you watch a team. Even when we play games, for those of you who are gamers, even when we play games, right? You know that your team is bad. You know that you're not enjoying what you're watching. So there are times in games where you are winning, but you're not enjoying, you're not feeling the game you're playing, you're not feeling the game especially those of us who play football manager. You know that your team is winning, yes, but you're not happy with what you're seeing. Now, imagine a situation where you're not winning and you're not also enjoying what you're watching. How do you think people will react? How do you think people will react? You cannot expect people to not enjoy what they are watching and also not enjoy the fact that they won. No, you have to give them one. So, for example, against Crystal Palace, I don't think we were all that. I don't think we were all that, but something, something was different, and we won 2-1. So even if we were not all that smooth, even if we were not all that beautiful to watch, there's a win. We have 3 points. We have 3 points to hold on to. So the thing United should be doing, the thing Amorim should be doing is that he's losing far many points, and that is a problem. If you want people to really get on your back, if you want a lot of people to get on your back, so find a way to win, even if it's not pretty. As long as you're winning, as long as you're getting the points, you know, people will get at your back. They will hope for substance. That is when you start telling people that okay, you don't have all the ingredients you need. You don't have all the players you need to make it prettier. But the most important thing is that we are difficult to beat. We are difficult to subdue. We are difficult. You cannot just come to us and you feel like you can just beat us up. No. So it's important to feed people's eyes, because when it comes to football, what we use our eyes. Is the eyes, that we used to see. So it's important to please. When people say football is, there are different ways to play football. Yes, one way is that because we use our eyes, and because our eyes like to see good things, the football has to be good. If the football is not good and you're not winning, you're wasting your time. You know. So one of the things that made Jose Mourinho a big guy then, or a very proud person then, was that even when his team was not pretty, they won. Do you get? So you, with your pretty football, you didn't beat them; they beat you, and that's the thing. So United were not pretty against Crystal Palace, it wasn't a pretty performance, especially that useless first half. The first half was terrible, right? Especially that first half. But then, at the end of the day, you took 3 points from Crystal Palace, right? So, if we play the next game and we're not so pretty, but you get a win, it makes things easier. Yes, I've always said this. I might not be I might not be pro Amorim at the moment because I mean he's not really giving me that thing I really want to see at Manchester United, at least not yet. If I prefer to complain with a win, I want to complain with a win. I want to complain that I didn't enjoy how we played, but at least there's a win. You know, you're winning. That was one thing with Eric Ten Hag, to be honest. But Eric Ten Hag picked a lot of points, but still, because at some point, see, let's use a simple example. So let's assume you're thirsty, right? You want to drink, you want to have a drink, maybe like a soda or something, Sprite, and then you you get a bottle, a very chill bottle of Sprite. Now, because the level of your taste at the first time, at the first bottle, is was very high. Well, you once you have that first bottle, right, the second one will not feel as good as the first. The third will not feel as good as the second, and then the fourth, just like that. So at some point, you start looking for something else. So if you're picking points, people will want substance as well. Yeah, because we want to enjoy it. We want to enjoy the game and we also want to win. That's what football is about. For a team like Manchester United, you should play well and win well. So play well, win, and win well. You're not at Manchester United to lose games. You're not at Manchester United to lose games. You're at Manchester United to win and win well. You always have to remember that. That is what you're at Manchester United to do. Win and win well. Yes. You know. But if you can't win well, at least win. It's important to win. It's important to win. Don't come and be serving us rubbish and think people will just allow it. Don't come and serve us rubbish and expect people to allow it. No, that is not a that is not possible. It's not going to work that way. So Manchester United demands a lot. It's either you can do it or you can do it. If you cannot, please stay far away from the club because people will talk. So now back to the game. So the game against Crystal Palace was it started pretty badly. Unexpectedly, we conceded. I mean, we can't keep a clean sheet. I've always said that why people hated Andre Onana and stuff by in there, they are not really the main problem. So the club where Andre Onana is at the moment, they are on a 9-game unbeaten streak with Onana as the goalkeeper. This was also the reason why Inter Milan were able to get to the final of the Champions League. They were able to win Serie A with Onana as a goalkeeper. Onana, to be honest, is not really your problem. I'm not saying you should like him, but I'm just saying that Onana was never really the problem. There was never really the problem. The point was that we are open. We are easy to play against. We are easy to get to at Manchester United. That is the biggest problem. That is the biggest problem. So it's not a matter. It doesn't matter the goalkeeper you put there. Yeah, you might put. I mean, and then if you remember that Onana was a ball playing guy who was renowned more for how he helped his team with the build up and all that. So that's his own reputation. His own reputation is not like David De Gea, who was more of a shot stopper, was renowned for his shot stopping skills than his ball playing skills. So goalkeepers are different. Lames, for example, now is also renowned for his shot stopping. He's known as a shot stopper, better for his shot stopping than playing with his legs. But at the end of the day, what these people have in common is that they are playing in a structure that is very easy to play against. And I think, for me, that is the biggest problem. When you play in a structure that is easy to attack, that is easy to get to, it doesn't matter who the goalkeeper is. Even if they give you Even if they give us Raya now, the Arsenal goalkeeper, the point of the whole thing will be that Raya would no longer be in that Arsenal structure that protected him. Is Raya a good goalkeeper? Yes, but you cannot discountenance the Arsenal structure in front of him, and that is the key thing. So our goalkeepers are overexposed. They are given too much of work to do, and that is a problem. So it's not about Onana not being a very good this thing, or Onana is why we're not good. No, before you signed Onana, Inter Milan were a better side. They were playing football with Onana as a goalkeeper. Right now, Trabzonspor in Turkey are playing football with Onana as a goalkeeper. They are 1 point behind Fenerbahce and Galatasaray in the Super League with Onana as the goalkeeper on a 9-game unbeaten run with Onana as their goalkeeper. The game they played the other day, Konya Sports, I think, is it Konya Sports? Yeah, where Nigerian striker Onachu scored 2 goals. If you see the way they were really getting at, they were dribbling those defenders like crazy. But Onana still tried to stand his ground, but it wasn't really. Hi, Alan. Hello. How is Uganda today? I'm greeting you from Nigeria. Alan, are you there? If you're there, just say hi. I think I saw your destined late. How is it going? Are you a United fan? Please, if you're a United fan, say hello. Say hello. If you're a United fan, say hello to me. And please let me know where you are watching from. Let me know what you think about Manchester United, especially the game against Crystal Palace. What do you think? What do you think about that? How was the performance against United, against Crystal Palace? Hello, guys. Welcome. Please just let me know where you're coming from or where you're watching from. If you're a Manchester United fan, please drop a hello for me. Say hi. Say hi in the chat. Let me and tell me where you're watching from. So Crystal Palace started really the way I expected them to start. It was a tough game. I don't think we hadn't won there in our last five. We hadn't beaten Crystal Palace in 4 or 5 matches or thereabouts. Um, and to be honest, there was one thing about Crystal Palace going into that game. They create a lot of chances, but they also waste a lot of chances. So it was an opportunity to say that. See, if you cannot beat Crystal Palace, I mean, after losing to 10-man Everton, there would have never been an excuse. We don't want excuses, man. So it was important that Manchester United took 3 points from Crystal Palace. It was super, super, super important. However difficult, there's never going to be an easy game. There will never be an easy game in the Premier League simply because clubs have good players. It doesn't matter the team you're playing. Sunderland, Leeds United. Look at Leeds United against Man City. They gave Man City a big problem. So it doesn't matter the team you're playing in the Premier League. The most important thing at this moment is that a lot of the teams in the Premier League are evenly matched. Like when I mean evenly matched, in terms of the level of the gap in talent is now reduced. It's getting flatter. So a lot of teams have good players. Look at Igor Jesus and what he's doing at Brentford. You know, I think double figures right now. Igor Thiago rather, sorry, Igor Thiago. So a lot of teams have players that can hurt you. That's the thing. Teams now have players that can hurt you. It doesn't whether you are playing Burnley or you're playing Leeds United. It's not easy. It's not an easy task. They can hurt you. That's the thing. They can and could hurt you. So in terms of results from yesterday, a beautiful one to start the day for Manchester United fans. Crystal Palace won. Manchester United too. What do you guys think of Matata? Is it Matata? Yeah, Matata, right? What do you guys think about him? I think he's looking like a late bloomer, the kind of player who blossoms from the age of 28 and above. Um, that's what Matata it looks like to me. And then you have Ashton Villa. Ashton Villa are flying. Ashton Villa started its season ridiculously poor. They were very poor in their first few games. But at the moment, man, Ashton Villa are flying. I think Ashton Villa are probably third on the table at this moment. Let me see. Ashton Villa are, I don't know. Aston Villa are fourth on the table. So how many contenders do we have this season? How many league contenders do we have this season? You know. So Brighton also Nottingham Forest, sent back to the Forest by Brighton. They couldn't consolidate. They were looking really invincible, but humbled by Brighton. And then, of course, you have Liverpool. Liverpool finally winning a game. It had to be against West Ham. And I think Manchester United are playing West Ham next. I don't think there's an excuse. You cannot lose to West Ham. At Old Trafford, you dare not. I dare Manchester United. I dare Manchester United to lose to West Ham at home. Let me confirm that it is West Ham that Manchester United are playing next. Let me confirm. Oh, yes. It is Manchester United. Manchester United hosts West Ham next weekend. The Red Devils, Amorim. I dare you, Ruben. I dare Ruben Amorim to lose to West Ham on at the weekend. You dare not. You dare not try that. You cannot. You know. So Arsenal, the biggest one, Arsenal Chelsea. I wanted both sides to lose. I wanted both sides to lose. To be honest, that was my hope. My hope was that Arsenal and Chelsea would lose. To be honest, I didn't know how it was going to happen, but I just knew that points had to be dropped. So and it's important for me that while both of them did not lose, they both dropped points. So I was happy that points were dropped. Chelsea or Arsenal couldn't lose. I wanted both of them, like I said, to lose. That was my prayer. But since both of them did not lose, the best next thing a draw. So Arsenal and Chelsea dropping points. That is good for the league. So Arsenal lead. I don't know what's. Imagine Arsenal leading by 8 points at this. It won't make sense. So they are now 5 points. Um, 5 points at the top. You know, so that is good. That is good. I don't know who they are both playing next, but the thing is that there is still time. There's still time to catch up with them. Manchester United is not so far away. 9 points from I think 9 points from Arsenal or 8 points or thereabouts, which is really bad. Which is really bad. We were hoping that not playing in Europe this season would be a plus for Manchester United, but as you can see, not playing in Europe is not a blessing in disguise. There is no blessing in disguise not playing in Europe. You need to be in Europe with your mates. In fact, that is where Manchester United belongs. Manchester United belongs in Europe. There is nothing like blessing in disguise. Missing Europe is a failure. If you miss Europe, you have failed. We need to uphold that standard. Don't come and be telling us that there is blessing in disguise. There is absolutely no blessing in disguise. All the teams ahead of us, most of the teams ahead of us, the Chelseas, the Arsenal, the Man City, they are all playing in Europe. one way or another. So there is no blessing in disguise missing European football. It is a failure. When you miss European football, you failed. Let us get that at the back of our head. You know. So the Chelsea and Arsenal drop points, which is good. Which is good. I don't know about Arsenal fans. I don't know how they feel, but Rhys James noted that um, it was disappointing that they didn't win, even with 10 men. I think since the game against us, Manchester United, where Chelsea played with 10 men and Enzo Maresca actually panicked and did a lot of things. I think he has worked on his weaknesses since that particular game, because there was no need to panic, man. There was no need to panic. But I'm happy to. It was really nice to see him doing better against Arsenal, who happened to be a more dangerous team than Manchester United. Playing with 10 men for a lot of minutes, and Chelsea coming away with a point. That is fantastic work from Maresca. I've always rated Maresca. I might not think he is in the Jurgen Klopp, Pep Guardiola level or something, but I always rated him when I saw him at Leicester City. I really appreciated what Maresca did with Wilfred Ndidi. Before Maresca moved to Leicester City, where he helped them gain promotion to the Premier League, Wilfred Ndidi's career was looking lost. It seemed like he was done. He was really, really done. But Maresca found a way for him. Maresca found something nobody had done with Ndidi, playing him as a number 8 rather than as a defensive midfielder. Sort of unearthed something about Ndidi, a level of confidence that I hadn't seen him play since he joined Leicester as a defensive midfielder. I think that was because it was a recognition of the fact that Ndidi at a DM has probably lost something. But Maresca, the Chelsea coach, found a way to use him. So with Harry Winks behind, Ndidi in front with somebody, I've forgotten the other person. It's Hall also. I don't know. I can't remember now. They really formed a fantastic midfield three. And that is what coaching is about. Coaching it's not all the time that you need to send people away from your team to solve a problem. At times, a change of position can actually solve a problem. Just a change of position can solve a problem. Ask yourself, how can I? Because at the end of the day, it's about getting the best out of players. So for Ntiti, he looked done as a defensive midfielder, but Maresca found a way to get him to work as a number 8. And I have always been shocked that others have not tried to emulate that, especially if you're a Nigerian and you watch the play as a DM in the Super Eagles, and we all know that it is not Nigeria's best defensive midfielder at the moment. Nigeria's best defensive midfielder at the moment plays in Belgium, Club Brugge. That is Rafael Onyedika. So that somebody has not really decided that let's push Ndidi a little bit forward with Onyedika and probably with Alex Iwobi, because you already play Alex Iwobi and Ndidi together in a double pivot. So why not put a third man? Why not put a third man there to make it a better midfield in such a way that Onyedika is the deepest one, Iwobi is the most advanced, allowing him use a little bit of his attacking instincts more, and then you have Ndidi who can then help out. It can still, depending on how you want them, it can still be a double pivot thing in game situations with Ndidi and Onyedika at times forming, and then he will be moving towards the number 10. It can always work out that way. Or if you really want to have your double pivot, you can make it like a 2-1 shape in midfield. Onyedika Ndidi, where Ndidi has a little bit more box to box, which is okay for him as well, because it relieves him of a little bit of the defensive side where Onyedika is there, and then play Iwobi in front of them, and he will be operating more like a CM10, or maybe like, should I say number 8 or whatever, in the hole, number 10, right? Still the same thing, but no one has really tried that. A lot of people still trying to put Ndidi as a defensive midfielder. So I followed Leicester that season and really enjoyed what Maresca did with Ndidi. So I'm not really surprised with some of the things he's doing at Chelsea. It's a coach I really rate, and it's a coach that also learns from mistakes. So for after the mistakes he made against Manchester United after going down to 10 men, it's good to see him not panic anymore. So even when he loses a man, he doesn't panic. He doesn't panic. That match at Old Trafford sort of um, showed him some things, and I like it. And I like it. I like when you know that now you mess up. You need to admit that now you mess up, and it's okay because nobody is perfect, right? Nobody is perfect, so we cannot make mistakes. And when you make it, it's important to admit it and then try to solve it because that's it's not the mistakes that we make, it is how we react to it that is really really important. But if you try to now hide it to make yourself look like a perfect person, no, 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 that is not it. So Chelsea with a fantastic job. They feel disappointed that they could have won it, even with 10 men against Arsenal. You can imagine how bold you have to be to think that you should have beaten Arsenal with 10 men. And I'm happy for them. It is their right. I think they did really well against the Gunners. Even though I wanted both sides to lose. I wanted both sides to lose. But I will take the draw. I will take the draw. They both dropped 2 points. It is close to three dropping 3 points, but I didn't think I wanted either of them to win. I didn't want either of them to win. So a big congratulations to Chelsea. They were at home, but I feel it's a point earned than two dropped for Chelsea than Arsenal. I think it's a two points dropped for Arsenal because as the favorite going into that game in quotes, they needed to have won that game. Arsenal needed to have won that game against 10 men. You should be doing better. You should be winning. You should be winning. You should be winning. But they did not. Fair play. That's okay as well. At least they didn't lose, I guess. But they should be super, super disappointed. But for me, as a Manchester United fan, it is what you see that you take as a Manchester United fan. We don't have to think too ahead of ourselves. I'm expecting a win against West Ham at the weekend, but you'd never know what you can get from this Manchester United team. I mean, there's a reason we have. Is it Thursday? The game against. Is it Thursday? Let me confirm. It's Thursday. Wow. I didn't know we're playing. When did we? Oh, it's Thursday. So we'll play on Thursday and then play weekend again. Wow, December season is here. Okay. So we're playing West Ham on Thursday. At least it's midweek. We're playing midweek. We might not be in Europe, but we're playing. Oh, I thought it was a weekend. So we're playing West Ham on Thursday. Thank you for the correction. I thought it was weekend. So United has to beat West Ham. Yes, I don't want to think ahead of myself. I'm not, I don't have, like I said, it is what United give us now that we take. We don't have to project too far away. But like the game against Crystal Palace, I said that you can't have you can't have the rubbish performance you did against Everton and not react against Crystal Palace. So while I do not have an expectation against Crystal Palace, the point is you have to react to the rubbish you fed the fans against 10 man Everton. You have to react to it, right? You have to. There is no other way. So even when they started slowly, it is good that they found a way to do, because the perfect reaction to the rubbish against Everton was was a win against Crystal Palace. That's the only thing. And thankfully they did. So good and fine. We will take it, like I said, we will take it. But then again, there's a reason why we have 13 wins in 12 months. So we can't think ahead of ourselves. So now, if we start expecting that you have to beat West Ham, you have to smash them, they are not good, they are blah blah blah, they are the weak. Even though we are a mess ourselves, West Ham are in a worst situation, right? And then you start having expectation. You must win. You must win. You must beat West Ham. You must blah 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 blah. They will now go and play West Ham and lose at Old Trafford. I mean, if we can lose to 10-man Everton at Old Trafford, what what do you think will happen against West Ham? But the thing is, the idea should be, this is a chance to consolidate, because after the rubbish against Everton, you've beaten West Ham and Crystal Palace now. The next best thing will be, even if you don't look pretty, just take the win and 3 points. Like I said, just take the win and 3 points against West Ham on Thursday. It is important. It is super important. Yes, because we all want pretty football. That is, we want to win well. We want to win as well, and with substance and all that. But if you can't serve a good win, at least serve a win. Just serve us a win. Let us take the win and complain later. So get a win against West Ham. Let us complain about the performance. That is the start. Don't play rubbish and then still lose. It makes no sense. And that was what annoyed me against Everton. We played rubbish and still lost to 10 men. It was inexcusable. It's not something you can excuse. You can't find any excuses for that. You cannot. There's nothing that would justify that rubbish, right? So it's the same thing against West Ham. If you don't play well, make sure you take the points, the 3 points. We cannot afford 1 point. We cannot afford a draw against West Ham. We cannot afford a loss against West Ham. So the most important thing is, take the 3 points against the Hammers. Whether you play well or not, take the 3 points against the Hammers, right? So what that does is that if you take the 3 points, we can complain about the performance, the substance. Maybe we didn't enjoy what our eyes saw, we didn't enjoy how we won it, but at least we won. Let us complain with a win. I don't want us to complain with a defeat. I would have taken complaining with a win against Everton, not complaining with a loss and against 10 men. No. So it is straightforward. So I do not have expectation against West Ham, but the situation we are in right now demands that Manchester United must beat West Ham. Like, look at the word now, must beat West Ham. So that's the line. We must beat West Ham. Then we can talk about the performance later, right? So beat West Ham. You've beaten Crystal Palace. We were not so smooth. We were not smooth. It wasn't pretty. All the things about open goal, with the open goal chances, we didn't really create much from open play. But the point is that against one of the better set pieces team, we won. We beat them to set pieces and we won. If they had beaten us to set pieces, if they had beaten us with set pieces, nobody will remember that Crystal Palace did not create anything from open play. What they will remember is that we lost. Do you understand it now? So what they will remember is that we lost. So against West Ham, nobody will remember whether West Ham created from open play or whatever, or they scored from set pieces. If we lose, what everybody is going to talk about is the loss, right? So if we know what is good for us, let us focus on making sure that the 3 points against West Ham will remain at Old Trafford. That is the only mandate. That is the only thing that must happen. Any other thing is rubbish, right? It's a chance to win the 14th game in. It's a terrible record. 13 wins in 40 matches. No Manchester United coach should be having that record. No Manchester United coach should be winning 13 matches in 40 played. No Manchester United should be doing that. Nobody, no Manchester, no. It doesn't matter whether you're a legend or whatever, it doesn't matter. You shouldn't be doing that at Manchester United. But since we've allowed it for Ruben Amorim, we've given him the liberty, the freedom to do as he likes. No wahala. So yeah, So that's a weekend review there. So impressive result all round. Um, I'm very much happy with what Manchester United did. 3 points. We'll take it. Like I said, we're gonna take it. We'll take it. So next week, next match day. So United is playing on Thursday. But before then, Arsenal take on Brentford. That should be an interesting game. Thiago versus Arsenal. We also have Brighton against Aston Villa. Aston Villa are flying at this moment. But can they? Yeah, they're flying. They're fourth.
They lost to 0 yesterday.
No, they won. Aston Villa.
They didn't lose to Liverpool yesterday.
No. West Ham lost to Liverpool.
Oh,
So Aston Villa are flying, fourth on the table. Crystal Palace would look to bounce back against Burnley. That is a game Crystal Palace should win. That is a game Crystal Palace should win. We also have Wolves against Nottingham Forest. This is a battle of Nigerians, the Super Eagles guys. Aroko Dare is there for Wolves. And then you have Taiwo Awoni, and of course, Ola Aina for Nottingham Forest, even though Ola Aina is currently injured. But that is a game for Nigerians. So if you're Nigerian, that is a game to watch out for. Leeds United against Chelsea. Chelsea, like Arsenal, will be looking to bounce back to winning ways after a very good draw against the Gunners. So, but they play Leeds. Leeds were really good against Man City. Unfortunate to lose that game late on. I think they deserve the point. Coming back from 2-0 down against Man City is not something everyone manages, but Leeds United managed that against Man City, and I think they should have gotten at least a point from the Etihad. But at Elland Road, they will be hoping to deal with Chelsea. I hope they do. I hope they do. But this is the kind of game Chelsea wins easily. So and then Liverpool Sunderland. Woo! Liverpool just won the first game in 200 years. They won their first game in 200 years, and now they're playing against the Black Cats, a very stubborn Black Cats who are having a very good season. Sunderland could be a pain in the ass, but I hope Liverpool will lose. I have no sympathy for that. I want Liverpool to lose. I want Chelsea to lose. I also want Arsenal to lose, and I want Man City to lose. Yes, they all have to lose, and of course, and for Manchester United to win. United's game is on Thursday, so all these other games I mentioned, um, 24 hours before our game, and then we play West Ham at Old Trafford. That game is, I don't like these 9 p.m. matches. I don't like these 9 p.m. matches because most times I'm already exhausted. So let me know, guys, what are your predictions? What do you expect from these games? What do you think about the weekend and the table at the moment? The table looks quite interesting. Arsenal at the top, 5 points. Man City behind them in second. Chelsea third. Aston Villa fourth. So that's the top four. That's the Champions League spots. And then you have Brighton and Sunderland in fifth and sixth, respectively. And then the Red Devils occupying seventh position. That is not our place at all. That is not where Manchester United should be. Manchester United should be higher. Champions League spaces, places, fighting for titles, looking pretty. We are the biggest club in England. We're the biggest club in the world. We need to act like it on the pitch. That is what we need to do. Act like the biggest club in the world on the pitch. So on that note, I want to thank you guys for hanging. I think this is my longest live here on YouTube, and I hope to be doing this regularly now. It is something I want to be doing. I want to thank you guys for hanging out. If you have anything you want to say to me, please just say it on the comment section. Also, tell me where you're watching from. I want to connect with, especially Manchester United fans. But I'm also if a serious football lover. Welcome to December. Happy New Month to you all. December is AFCON month, AFCON 2025. So AFCON starts this month. So and on this space, we're gonna be talking a lot of AFCON. I think visa issues mean I won't be able to go to Morocco, but you can follow the game anywhere, you know. So Nigeria looking for a fourth title. So I'm gonna be here following Nigeria's journey in AFCON. So it's AFCON month and we can enjoy. So AFCON and Premier League football, La Liga football as well, because we're gonna be discussing a lot of La Liga. I'm trying to improve my La Liga coverage because of a very beautiful relationship I have with La Liga people, my friends in Spain, you know, and across, and especially through their La Liga Africa office, you know, so we can discuss a lot of La Liga here. Who knows? Maybe one day I might even get them to probably give out a jersey to one lucky person here. I'm enjoying my own jersey. I'm a Manchester United fan, but I got a Celta Vigo jersey. I also got a Real Madrid jersey. You know, so who knows? I might speak to one of them. If you people are good to me, I can speak to them, and they probably would give out jerseys here. You know, so maybe next time when I do have a chat with them, I will let them know that I have a community, and they should give out jersey to you people. But for now, let me enjoy my own. I'm wearing my Manchester United shirt this time. No, this one was not. This one is for me. You know, so but the La Liga jerseys I have now were really beautiful gifts from La Liga themselves, which I really, really appreciate. So, thank you guys, and see you in midweek. Like I said, please drop your comments. Let me know what you think about Manchester United under Ruben Amorim so far. Is it? Do you think he needs more time, or you have seen enough and he's not good enough? Just let me know what you think, and I will always reply. And if you're not following, if you're not subscribing, um, please subscribe and turn on your notifications for more, because I intend to spend a lot of times on I intend to spend a lot of time on YouTube. It's not my most used app, but I will do that. If there is a bit Mr. Debonair, I don't understand. Please, can you rephrase your question, because I don't understand. Let me understand. You say if there is a bid next. Oh, I understand you now. Which jersey are you talking about? This particular one, bro. Do you know how much this jersey costs? This is the best jersey in the world. I think I really like this. I got this one because I think it's the best jersey this season. I don't like. I'm not. I don't like the home jersey, but this one is really really superb. It's really really cool. It goes along with a lot of things. It's the finest jersey in the world this season for me. Um, what do you mean by waste money? There's nothing like I didn't waste my money. I didn't waste my money. It's a fine jersey, and you know, it's something you can wear to anywhere. So, the Bonnet, what club do you support again? It seems you're certified bad belly. This one is a Manchester United hater. It's okay. It's okay. I don't mind that. At least you are doing it with your chest. It's fine. It's fine. I don't think I've ever worn a Chelsea jersey. I've never worn a Chelsea jersey. I've never worn a Liverpool jersey. I've never worn a Liverpool jersey. Have I worn an Arsenal jersey? I don't think I've ever worn an Arsenal jersey as well. But you see other clubs I have. I like Liverpool. I like Newcastle's jersey. I think Newcastle has a. You see that Tom this thing, yeah. Really like Newcastle's color combination. So I don't wear jerseys anyhow. The other jerseys I wear are like MPFL. If you have an MPFL club you support and you want me to wear their jersey, please send it to me. I will accept. Right? So I don't wear jerseys anyhow. I've never worn a Chelsea jersey. I don't know. I don't think a lady self can make me wear a jersey. Maybe a lady can make me wear a jersey. If I like her, she can probably make me wear a jersey. Uh-huh. Only a lady can make me wear a jersey. And that's if I like you. But I've never worn a Chelsea jersey. I've never worn an Arsenal jersey. I don't think you can find anything that has to do with a Chelsea jersey or Arsenal jersey or Liverpool jersey. Liverpool for me has the worst jersey in the world. Their jerseys are too dull. Like even when I see it, even when I see, especially the red, even when I see it, even when I see somebody, it's never given. It's never given. Chelsea too. Chelsea jersey, that blue, that home blue jersey. That is the one that should be put in the bin. Just put that one in the bin. That's that one. That's the one that deserves the bin. Just put it in a waste bin. Like that jersey is dull. It is super 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 dull. Right? It is super dull. Eh? There was no, but it's the truth. I have to be honest. I have to be honest. Arsenal red is really good, but I can't wear it. Arsenal's red, their red is really really good. Eh? Yeah. See, you see, Newcastle. Newcastle has a fantastic. If I ever own a football club, if you check my FPL, my FPL has the Newcastle combination. I really love that combination. It's a top combination for jerseys. Like I really like the Newcastle home jersey. I really like that is one jersey I would like to wear. Yes. I don't think I will ever find myself in a situation where I can't wear a Newcastle jersey. On FIFA on FIFA game, I also tend to use Newcastle. I like using Newcastle to play. When they had Amiobi and this thing, yeah, I like to use Newcastle to play. So that is, I think, Tottenham as well. These are two. If I use Manchester United, Newcastle, and Spurs on games. Those are the only teams I can manage on games, and then Brighton. Apart from that, nothing else. I can never try Chelsea jersey. No, 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 no. Even if I try Chelsea's jersey, it has to be the other ones. But you see that home jersey, no way. There's no way on earth I am doing that. I don't want that jersey. No, but it's an honest review. That's it for me. It's just like I said about the United home jersey. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. But you see this particular one, fantastic, fantastic. You know, I don't have the home jersey for Manchester United because I'm not feeling it so much. So I guess most of the home jerseys are not really given. They are not given so much. Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal's home jersey is actually really, really. I think their home jersey is their best kit. I don't think they have any other kit that is as good as their home jersey. So and when anybody wears Arsenal's home jersey, it looks really good on them. Yay! Debona is asking very good questions. Yeah, you've extended this live a bit. How do I feel about Super Eagles, bro? First and foremost, we have to say that it's a disgrace. That is the best word to use. It's a disgrace that Super Eagles would not be. In fact, it is criminal. I believe that everybody involved should be arrested and tried and jailed, especially those in the NFF. I say this without mincing words. That everybody involved in NFF should be arrested and tried and jailed. Back to back misses. What makes the Super Eagles missing the World Cup so bad is that 10 teams are supposed to represent Africa. Africa has 10 slots, and Nigeria won't be one. If is the worst thing that has ever happened to us. I'm telling you honestly. When we had at least the last World Cup, it was like 5 slots. You just needed 5 people. You can miss out once in a while when it's about 5 slots because a team can just come from nowhere and give you good grief. The same way Angola did to us because there were 5 slots and all that. So on goal difference. So a team can just surprise you once in a while. But when you have 10 slots, if you have 10 slots and there is no Ghana, there is no Nigeria, there is no Cote d'Ivoire, there is no Cameroon, there is no Morocco, there is no Tunisia, there is no Egypt, there is no bro. Then something should. It is embarrassing. It's embarrassing that Nigeria will not be there. Not just embarrassing from a football point of view, but if you work in the media, you know what it means when Nigeria is not going to a major tournament. Just like Ghana is not going to the AFCON. Like it is embarrassing. You should be at the AFCON, you should also be at the World Cup. These are giants in the African game, and you need to always show it on the pitch. The same it's actually, we try not to think about it so much, because if you work in the media like I do, we it's going to be a terrible walk up again, a very terrible walk up, because brands are not going to come to you. I mean, why should they come to you? Why should they come to you? Nigeria is not there, because the idea behind brands coming to you during tournaments is that they can get their things in front of people, because everybody's eyes will be there. Your country is there. Even if not 3 matches, it is important that in those 3 games, from preparations to the tournament itself, and then playing the 3 games, it's a lot of time, a lot of time for brands to advertise their goods and services and all that. So, but each time Nigeria is not there, you suffer it. So, my dear, the easiest, I'm honest with you. They keep telling us that it was the easiest group. They keep telling us that we don't have players, we don't have I hate hearing that thing. Even as a Manchester United fan, I hate hearing that thing. You play Crystal Palace, you are hearing you don't have players. You play Brentford, you are hearing you don't have players. You play Burnley, you are hearing you don't have players. You play Everton, you are hearing you. Which players are these people using to beat you? So you lost to Everton. Which players are they using to beat you? To beat you, you will lose to Crystal Palace. Yeah, you're telling me you don't have players. It makes no sense. Nigeria does not have players. Nigeria does not have players. You played Rwanda, you played Zimbabwe, you played Lesotho, bro. You played even South Africa. That almost all their players are based in South Africa. So what that shows is that most times it's not about having the stars. You can have the stars but no team, and then you also have a team without stars. Which is why South Africa are going to the World Cup and Nigeria is not. For me, we have better players than South Africa. But South Africa has a better team. So in as much as, and I'm not saying that we have better players because they are playing in Europe. No, that's not what I'm saying. It's not just that they are playing in Europe. For me, I genuinely believe that we do have the better players, right? However, South Africa has been able to do what? They've been able to put a team together. They've been able to use what they have to create a team. And that is basically it. That is basically what football is. Nobody is saying you should not try as much as possible to have stars. So even when you have stars, try as much as you can to create a team. So South Africa are a much better team than the Super Eagles are, even with the players we have. Now, if you give South Africa Osimhen, bro, they will destroy you. The same Osimhen that you have, and you are struggling against Zimbabwe, you are struggling against Rwanda, you are struggling against Lesotho, and so on and so forth. They will destroy you because they have a better team. And that's what Nigeria has been struggling to do. We don't really have a team. We don't really have a team. Nigeria has lost its football blueprints. Yeah, we have, and it's because we have terrible people in. This the football reflects our society. Our football is reflecting our society. There is no sector in Nigeria that can be trusted. There is no sector in Nigeria that can be. I think maybe the only one now. Even music service, yeah, maybe music, because not the government they run them and all that. But every other sector in you look at it, it's a mess. So the football is the same one. Football is entirely in the hands of government, right? And it's that what so our football is reflecting what Nigeria is. If Nigeria was a working society, our football will work, because whatever is working in the society will be infused or injected in the football sector, in the sports sector. If we even say football, it's as if we are forgetting. We the other ones too are not working. The only thing is that football sees more money. Now there are some sports in Nigeria that are much better than Nigeria than the football, but they don't see the kind of money that the football sector sees. Maybe if you inject that money into them too, They go scatter like the football old, So the football sector is reflecting Nigeria as a society. We are terribly run as a country, and the byproduct is all the rubbish we're seeing. So like I agree with you. We've lost that. We don't even do we even have a blueprint? Do we have a blueprint? I don't think we have a blueprint. And the funny thing is that it's never too late to start. It's never too late to start. Morocco, for example, knew that they had Moroccans everywhere. They set up, even after losing some for a while, they set up camps across Europe to find, because you have to find these people early on. There's a Femi Aziz that is balling in the championship at the moment. Now we don't Nigeria will not go and get him now. With the wait when him blow, probably go to a Premier League blow. We'll come the fight with him. We'll start to fighting for him with England. The same thing we did with Ebereze. Ebereze, all the time he spent in at Reading. My brother, by then if I don't cap him, we'd always wait. We always think that we have so much options and all that thing that they will always be there waiting for us. It's never the same with people that were born out there. No, for example, when you want to fortify your team, you have to go early, and that is what Morocco is doing now. Morocco set up camps across to look for those guys between 16 and 17, between 16 and 20 who have not gone too far. They are trying their best. Yes, you see that you will still lose some, like they lost Yamal, which that one happened pretty early. They lost Yamal, because Yamal is Moroccan, right? But what they are doing is that you might not get all of them, but you will get a lot. And I think they are winning. And they are winning. And you can see what they built in their country for their football. Their football ecosystem is thriving. They've built camp for their national team. So the idea is that they are putting football first. And that's what our leaders would not know. That when you put football first, when you put the players first, and every single thing that favors them, you yourself, your pocket cannot remain the same. It is not possible for your pocket to remain the same. But we have a situation where these people are putting their pockets first, and which is what leads them to robbery, to corruption, to stealing. Because that money you're supposed to use to cater for the footballers, that money you're supposed to use to cater for the football, you go put them for your pocket, thinking that football will just happen on its own. No, you have to first sow the seed, sow it, plant it. Then it starts germinating, and you start reaping the fruit. And what it does also is that you gain the trust of the people. They want you to spend more time there, because the football ecosystem is where there is no. I don't think there's even a limit for the NFF. I don't know if there's a limit. I can't remember now. Maybe 3 times or so. Maybe there's a limit. I'll confirm next time. I will relay. But they want you, at least they will want you to stay, because they see that you're good for them. You have their interest at heart. But here, it is always the pocket first. They don't think the other way, But the idea is that when you put the footballers first, when you put the team first, every other thing, it's just like the Bible. When you put God first, every other thing will be added to you. So the idea is that before you go out, you call God. It's not like you have not planned. You have done your plans, you've done your research, you've done everything, but still, before you do anything, you call God. Before you go out, you call him. Before you sleep, you call him. Before you do anything, so every single thing you do, you put him first. Every other thing shall be added unto you, right? It's the same thing. So if you put the footballers, put the game first, every other thing will come. Elevation and all that, it will be very seamless. But when you decide you want to cut corners, you want to cheat people, you want to steal, it will always be there, because the fruit of your labor is going to show. It's as simple as that. The fruit of your labor. Look at Morocco now. It has taken them probably 10 or so years to put everything together, and they are reaping it across board. They're just reaping the fruit across board. So whoever started that is the same thing with Germany. When there was a time where Germany didn't have a youth system, I think it was, if you've read the book, Dash Reboot, the year 2000 was the year where I think they missed Euros and all that, and it didn't make sense to them. They went back to the drawing board. That was when they forced teams to start up the youth system and forced a whole lot of things and so on and so forth. And before you know what happened, their country was revived, because they didn't really have players. They didn't really have new guys to take over from the likes of Oliver Kahn and Schweinsteiger, so many of them, So the idea was, bro, we can't keep ignoring this thing. We have to go back to it. So it's never too late. So if Germany, as a European nation, can do that in 2000, they say that when you wake up now, your morning. Whenever you wake up now, your morning, right? So until we intentionally, because everything has to be with intention. What do you want to get out of this thing? What exactly do you think you want? What exactly do you think this thing is going to lead to? So when we intentionally decide that, okay, we are ready to sow that seed, that's the only time it can go. But for now, what we do is hope, and hope is not a strategy in football. Hope is not a strategy in football. You have to be intentional with a lot of things. So it's the same thing with how you play. If you want to pack the bus, it's not just by packing the bus. The question is why. The why is very much important. It has to be intentional. There's an intention to how you want to do. If you want to go long, there should be an intention. You cannot be doing it with hope or vibes. No, the idea is that I am going long because, and this is what I want these people to do, so that when it happens, then we can, so there has to be an intention to the things you do on the pitch for football. So, my brother, it is sad. It is really, really sad that Nigeria will not be at the World Cup. It is a second World Cup in a row. It is disheartening. It is painful. It is disgraceful. It is embarrassing. I want you to find all the rubbish, all the bad words you can find in the dictionary. It will describe perfectly what that thing means to Nigeria. But again, we have to support Africa. Other African teams are going. I hope Congo can pull through, so that complete the numbers for Africa. For Nigeria, they will always tell you that we'll go back to the drawing board. My brother, we no get bored. So whenever they say we'll go back to the drawing board, the first thing you should tell yourself that Nigeria has no board. There is no board. So when they say we'll go back to the drawing board, na lie. There is no board in the stats, for starters. So it always lies, and that is why we always find ourselves in this position, right? So despite the number of players we have, we don't have a team, and that is the problem. Thank you so much, Debona, for that question. Talking Super Eagles is a passionate thing. Is as passionate as talking Manchester United for me. And these are two teams that I hold very much in high regard, and all that. They are supposed to be the best at what they do, but they are not. Two teams that remind me so much of themselves. Couple of players, very good players, but no team. You are struggling to mold them into a very good unit, and that is a very big problem. I'm so glad you asked that question. Thank you so much, Tiffany. This has been really good. So I was targeting 40 minutes for this live, but it is now over 1 hour, and I've quite enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. It's the first time I'm doing this on YouTube. What are your thoughts on the Nigerian Football League? Do you know when I started enjoying the Nigerian Football League? Because the Nigerian Football League is also like Super Eagles. They're all in the same thing, because if the league is really, really good, maybe we don't have to depend so much on a lot of things. So the league has its problems, but I started enjoying the Nigerian league when I told myself that I would not focus on people but the players. I just want to get to know the players. I just want to get to find good talents. I just want to enjoy people who are really good in the game. So usually, for example, I watched the game between um, Ikorodu City and Abia Warriors yesterday. I was there. I think I've watched every single game and Ikorodu City at home today, apart from two. And it's been really good. It's been really good. I also try as much as possible to share on my page here some of this. So if you go through my videos, just go through my shorts, you will see some really, really good videos on the Nigerian Football League, especially in Lagos here teams. So I'm trying to make sure that every single team that comes to Lagos, I go watch them, big teams. So yesterday was Abia Warriors, who were in the continent, though they didn't qualify for the group stage. It was a really good game. Um, they should have probably getting a point from that performance, but their goalkeeper decided to gift Ikorodu City the win. So Ikorodu City at the moment is at the top of the table. I have a couple of videos from that video that I'll be sharing within the week, starting today, later today. So I think a lot of Nigerian footballers you see in Europe started here. So it means we have the raw materials. We have it's just like the petrol that we have, the fuel, the crude oil that we have. Crude oil is a raw material that can simplify a whole lot of things for Nigerians. But still, we have problems, right? It's the same thing. So a lot of the players you see in Europe are players who come from Nigeria, either from the academy or from a Nigerian club. So the tools are there, the raw materials are there, but again, organizational problems are very, very serious issues that we have. We do have organizational problems in Nigeria. So in terms of organizing things and putting them in a kind of structure that will favor us as a whole, it's a big problem. So the league has its own problem, but I told myself one day that let me just focus on players. I've spoken to some coaches. There are coaches that don't really like to talk. There are coaches that So what I do is that I'm not interested in who is not interested in me. So I'm interested in coaches that want to talk. I'm interested in players that also want to express themselves. I'm interested in players, and again, if you're a good player, you don't have to even talk to me. My own is to just know things about you, get clips about you. So that's how I started enjoying the Nigerian Football League, telling myself that, okay, I'm just there for the players. Let me just go, even if all of them are not good, let me just focus on the one who is good. And this idea came after there was a guy called Olawi Ibrahim. He plays in Turkey now. He was at Rangers for like 2 or 3 years, and he was known as the 042 Hazard. So that was the Eden Hazard era. So the way he played, he was a winger. The way he played, he was compared to Eden Hazard, and he was at Rangers, right? And he found his way to Turkey, where he has really, really done okay for himself, and even earned a Super Eagles cap. So I didn't really get close so much to him um, while he was in Nigeria, but I started watching more of him when he went to Turkey, and to be honest, I enjoyed him. He's become a little bit more versatile now. He can play in central midfield. He can play as a 10. He's no longer the pure winger that he used to be. So I took that initiative and told myself that, okay, it's time to do things differently. And I think I have to be honest, Manchester United helped me. This also coincided with where United became really, really bad. And I needed something to distract me. So now I'm fully into the Nigerian football ecosystem. Even at my place of work, I write so much about the Nigerian Football League. I think it can be better. It can obviously be a lot better. But then we have organizational problems that is a function of the society we're living in. So every single thing about Nigeria is an organizational issue, serious organizational issue, and it's not just one sector; it's all the sectors. So because that is the case, it affects every single thing, including the Nigerian Football League. But at times you enjoy it. But what I can tell you for sure is the more private clubs that are involved, the better for us. We need a lot of private clubs to be more involved, and that is why I enjoy some of the private clubs. Ikrodi is a private club. Remo Stars is a private club. You also have other ones, especially in the lower league, um, where I really very youthful teams they have these private teams. So I think the best thing that can happen to the Nigerian Football League is when private clubs when we have more private clubs in them than the government owned ones. So I remember one day I was saying that I want to see more private clubs, that I don't mind if the government clubs get relegated. I know what I was saying. So I think the more private ownership comes into Nigerian football, the better for us, especially in terms of management. Some of the best leagues in Nigeria are privately run. Take TCC for example. Super. Do you know how much talent TCC sells compared to MPFL? So the TCC is a fantastically run private league, for youth teams. So that is where Remo Stars Academy play a lot of matches. They also have their own FA Cup. They also have their own league cups. So exposes these guys to the guy, the Ebenezer Akinsumi guy that went to Inter Milan only played in TCC. Beyond limits. He only played in TCC. I think he's doing really well right now. In is it Pisa? Yeah, he's on loan there, really doing well. He could go to Afcon, and that is someone that came from the TCC. So you can see how much the private leagues are doing. They sell more players than the MPFL. So which also goes to show that the raw material, like I said earlier, are in Nigeria. The tools are in Nigeria. The talents are here. I used to be a goalkeeper. It's just that I didn't enjoy it. I was really, really good. School team, first choice. First, I was in the school team. I was my department first choice. Faculty first choice. Went to Nuga. Went to West African Games. But there was a chance to go to Rangers, but I wasn't really feeling the goalkeeping thing. I was quite good at it, but I wasn't really feeling it. I prefer playing because I could play as well, but they saw me more as a goalkeeper, and that took the joy away from me because I was just standing and my cousin don't like hearing that story, but then it's fine. It's about doing what you enjoy. I didn't enjoy the goalkeeping. I was good at it, but I didn't enjoy it.
Don't enjoy a lot of things in life.
But still, like I said, we have talent in Nigeria here. We have talent in Nigeria, but organization is a big problem. It's a big problem. But I would advise you to learn from me. Try as much as possible to focus on some talents. On finding some talents that are really good in Nigeria. Get to know them. Get acquainted with them. Sporting Lagos, when they were in MPFL, helped in that regards as well. Some of their players are also out. So you can see that the private clubs are a little bit more focused on development and production and sales. So like I said, organizational. So you really need a target. You need to be intentional. So these private clubs are very intentional with what they are doing. Ikorodu City are doing the same thing. A lot of their players are really moving. Spain collaborations, Austria, so many, right? So most of the private clubs organizationally are very intentional with the things they do. They have superb structure. In fact, you cannot even play the TCC without certain structure. If you don't have certain structure, that if you go through the TCC this thing and read it, if you don't have certain structure, you cannot be allowed to compete in the TCC because they know what they are doing. They are very intentional. They know that they are not just playing for fancy. It's a developmental league, and they also want to make money. Do you get? So if you don't align with their style, you can't play there, right? And these are the kind of organizational thing that we need in the MPFL. I've always said it in the MPFL that starts with stadium, for example. Any team that does not have a very good stadium, that does not have a playable stadium, should not play. Even if we have 10 teams in the league, we should be okay with it. As long as we have 10 standard stadiums that can allow people enjoy the game. It's something you can set yourself. These are rules you can set to just to upgrade your standard and everything. The same thing with the coaching. Tell them anybody that does not have the CAF A, because you want the standard of coaching to improve, because it is the standard of coaching that can improve players. The more players are improving, the better the searchlight in the league. So these are rules that should happen in the league, and it's like I said, it's all organizational. But Nigeria is an organizational mess, so it rubs off on every other person. Anyways, Lebanon, I've enjoyed your questions. You have some pretty good questions. Hopefully in the next live you will ask me more. It'll be like say my battery don't die. My battery is on die. They don't send me a lot, 20%. But I want to thank you so much for these your questions. But I will not be taking your offer on Chelsea. I'm so sorry. I will not be taking your offer on Chelsea. That jersey is not for me. I like good things. I like good things, and that Chelsea jersey is not one of them. Sorry. But if you send me Another jersey I probably will wear. What is your favorite team in Nigeria? What's your favorite? Do you have a favorite MPFL team? Do you? Let me know your favorite team. Anyways, so guys, I think this should be a wrap. While I wait for the bonus, you can tell me your favorite team in the comment section later.
When she's online, tell her that you want to join the password.
That's
When she's online, tell her you want to forgot password.
So
They will send me, she will set password on this end.
that's good.
the same password.
Thank you so much, guys. But I have to.
And how? I don't understand.
I have to run now. My battery is.
Him. He's not having the phone there now.
He has an email, right?
Eh,
It's going to be sent to Nick knows he sends his email. He will set it from here.
okay, he said for what password.
It's been really
I can do it here.
run to where, sir.
Password.
Oh my God, Cerebrone, you guys, you see that man? This Cerebrone guy.
You understand now.
That's another.
Forgot password.
That's another super guy. Yo.
He reset the
That's
password.
another super guy.
If they say for what
That's my guy at the top.
I set, you reset password.
Football encyclopedia. Just if a Cavani fanboy. Just follow him.
When he
But Cerebrone, my battery don't go.
resets it,
See 40 minutes.
it will now give
See 40 minutes live. What we want to do.
password, yeah?
You better I say next time, so I go bring you come here so that people can tap from your.
okay, you will use this.
People can tap from your experience.
Laptop
Let me see sir, whether
will-
this
will
thing
set
go.
the password.
Okay. You guys, next time I will bring him. I think he will be. He's also the one of two Valencia fans in Nigeria. Nigeria has over 200 million people, and this guy is one of two Valencia fans. I don't know how person go to support Valencia. No, yes, I'll do that. We're supposed to roll. In fact, I'll discuss with you outside so that we will know how we're going to do this thing, this particular one, this YouTube live. We will run them. You guys, in fact, the whole of AFCON on this live, I will just be discussing with him. We'll go date this live,
So we can do the.
you know. So
screen.
all of us go discuss this AFCON
While we
together.
forgot password.
Make I pin the comments. Let me see if you will get some people. So he's looking for
Let them flash his phone.
new Valencia recruits members in case anybody don't tire. So if people tire for United now, Valencia they go wrong go to. Make I see where Valencia they take for table.
Flash it in the house now.
May God know I arrest you this morning.
Setting it.
Yeah, let me check.
Flash it. You might be virus, and you know what is
Let me check. Just hold on.
They might be virus on it. So if you flash it-
Valencia win. Valencia they play today.
No,
The normal
Make I check the time.
we remove all those things.
Oh, Valencia are playing today, 9 p.m.
So I don't need to say.
Oh,
No, it's not iPad.
at least we need to give false hope.
least.
Valencia 16th. Oh boy, 13 points from 13 games. So now they average 1 point per game. Not true. No, there's no false hope. There's no false hope. You know say. Oh God. Oh my God. Don't worry. We are going to run this thing. So guys, Cerebrone is a fine young man. Great football mind. In fact, me I need to roll with people when no sabi o. Now people wey sabi pass me I dey roll with, so that they go sharpen me. You know say Bible say iron sharpeneth iron, right? Yeah. You roll with people that are better and they sharpen you on your way, you know. So he's a fantastic guy. My guy at the top. He has some really nice good videos. If you want to learn about AFCON, at least before we get into it, because on this YouTube live, we're gonna be discussing AFCON from the start. I don't know if we can do every game. I'll ask him if we can do every game or at least some really top games. But I can assure you that some of the top games at AFCON 2025, discussion will happen. You know, they try lobby am, so that Ingo come back to this place. So Brony, good to have you. You just come when I don't finish. See my battery dey like 15% now. So I'll go charge maybe we can do another one in the evening. I don't know. Maybe we can discuss La Liga. Let's do something in the evening, maybe around 6 before your game. Yeah, I think 6 p.m. today. 6 p.m. should work today. 6 p.m. I will try and get Cerebrone here. Let's see. Let him give us some insight about you go day road around 6. If you put your inside car around 6 now. So okay, what would be a good time? How long did it take you to 7:30? Okay, 7:30 works. 7:30 works. So 7:30. By then our guy go don reach house. Let's discuss some. I think we'll do some La Liga discussions. We'll do some La Liga discussions in the evening. Barcelona, Real Madrid, Valencia. Let's allow Cerebrone try to steal some fans to to Valencia. So 7:30 p.m. guys, you can hear from the Don himself. Like I said, I'm not just saying it. He's a fantastic guy. So 7:30 is going to be me and Cerebrone here on YouTube Live. Let's discuss football. We're here to make friends while enjoying what we all love. So, all right, Cerebrone, thank you so much. So 7:30 is a date. 7:30 is a date today. We shall run it. We'll go run them. Yeah, 7:30. Say I will always listen to you. Just try as much as possible to be early. Be early, oh. Be early. Anyways, for me, I'll come here first by 7:30. I'm sure he will come by 7:30. So he's not a late comer, but still try come early. So thank you guys. Deboniers, I want to thank you for your questions. Your questions were super helpful. You guys, I think this is the best way to go. From 7, just prepare your questions. Just prepare the questions you have. Whatever questions you think you have. I will also get Cerebrode to give his insights. I'm going to relay I'm going to note down all the questions Cerebrone asked. I think we'll start off on that note. Cerebrone will answer some of those, give you his own insights, and then we can then flow into La Liga and Valencia's match. So just shoot your question, drop any questions you think you want to ask. Whatever the question is, it could be whether it's football or not, just ask us. I think Cerebrone will be happy to answer relationship questions as well. So whatever question you think you have, but just we'll prefer football only, but whatever question, just shoot in the comment section. Even after the live, just drop your questions. I will see them, and by 7:30 we'll be here to answer them. I'm not trying to say anything. No, I don't want to say. I don't want to insult you. I don't insult people. You just need to insult people. So that's it all. Thank you guys. So let me go and charge my phone so that we'll be ready for 7:30. 7:30 we'll have a full-blown conversation from La Liga to Premier League, and then perhaps, depending on if we get any questions, we shall be here. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Cerebrone. Thank you, Deboniers, for joining. Thank you, Alan Kato as well, from Uganda. I hope to see you soon. Goodbye.